The evening came and the temporary camp set up. A large fire was started where people from all the tribes gathered. The leaders to the front of all the people. I stayed to the side with Ben in case things became difficult. Abira was the first to speak. It had already been decided by Colt. I know so little of everyone here. In the coming days, I hope that may change. But as some of you know through whispers as well as the uncanny family resemblance that I am Colt's father by blood, that much is true. I know some of you know it differently, but my people who I speak to now, I wish for you to know, when we return to our land, Colt shall be your new king, but as of now you shall treat him as such. That being said, my wife, the leader of the Deer clan, is with my child. When the child is born, decisions will be made on his rights by the king. Colt, my son, for I know he will do right by the child and our people, just as I have served the people of the kingdom. The lion people looked to the king, saying nothing. My son and I have talked. There will be new rulings I believe will be for the good of the kingdom. I shall let the new king tell you, and as my last words to you, my people, as your king, you shall listen to his words and choose a path. But it will not be one of blood. The crowd looked on eagerly, silently. Colt stood firm. I speak now to all the tribes. We have all fought hard battles together in the years that have passed. I know many here like blood when we come together. A great strength is shown, but there is a weakness among us. The crowd began to murmur. Alpha snarled out loudly, "Quiet down!" Everyone gave their attention to Colt. The weakness is the animals. Each tribe has animals that they say are a part of them, just as Haralt's plan to keep us apart and weak. The only way we have any hope of defeating all of them is to break all their rules on us. And this is the one rule we forgot was put in place. So I am asking of you all to join a kingdom of strength made of men and women. The wolves were the first to snap. Then our herd chimed in. You can't be serious. We are one with them. You are asking to give up half ourselves. I am asking for you to give me your full self. Don't you see until you give up the animal? You are just the half you speak of. Some were agreeing with Colt's words, but they were being drowned out. Alpha stepped to the front of Colt. I am the leader of the pack. I have led you all for many years. I made sure your bellies were full, while other packs died off. Our blood is thinning. I, for one, am going to give this new life a chance. If any refuse my words, take your tooth and go. I will be in no need of it where we are going. The pack was full of growls, some walking away in anger, others snarling. Very few just continued to listen. Listen, this will be a blessing for everyone that comes to the kingdom. Then another voice came of a bronco, red long hair, deep brown eyes, wearing a red jacket. Rano. Easy for you to say. This lion guy saying you are his son, then why did the past stallion lie telling us you were from his seed in that woman? We only put up with her because she bore our stallion twins. Is Lavender even of the stallion? Marshall came forward past me, speaking to the herd as a whole. Rano, I shall speak. Many of you are my past herd. I did tell false truths, for at the time I was young and believed I was doing what was best to keep the herd strong. I was made not to have children by Haralts. Lavender is my sister, born from my mother, the past stallion, my father. Ben was in the crowd but was quiet. Very few remembered him, so he thought his words would just bring more distrust. What rights does Colt have to be the stallion? Then Rano spat to the ground in front of Colt's boot. Marshall spoke again. He grew up as the son of a stallion. A stallion can take on children not his own, and they be given his rights. Him not being of my blood changes nothing. If one is to be punished, it should be me for the lies I spoke. Timothy spoke up meekly. He has a point, Rano, and I have to agree I will still follow Colt as stallion. Rano punched him in his gut, making him lean over. Quiet, Piggy. You would follow wherever the food leads. We have no use of you or a stallion that doesn't even ride upon the back of a real horse. Your horse? What happened to your horse? Oh yes, that's right, it died. I'd almost dare ask if you killed him and then brought him back with black magics of Haralt's just to gain our trust when needed. Colt waited. He could tell the bronco wasn't finished. And his mare rides a curly. He married of the forbidden rides. It brings death, and he is trying to bring death to our way of life. What is he going to do if we disagree? Kill us too. His mare is death, he is death, his children are death. That last line did it. Colt took all his power running up to the bronco. As the bronco did him, Colt had him in a hook of the neck. Rano, in return, twisted with him on the ground. Marshall came to my side once more. Rano pulled out his knife from his boot as Colt was trying to choke him out. Not to kill, but to take his hair from his head. As Rano did the same as proof, he was no longer to be the herd's leader. Colt, on the other hand, was not doing his best because of his leg, but no one talked about his children. The scuffling lasted for some time until Rano unknowingly twisted his legs around Colt's. Colt loosened his grip, yelling out in pain, which in return made Rano curious. He twisted himself in a way to push his fingers down in the wound, till Colt nearly fainted, but still holding to Rano. "What's this, then?" Rano took his knife, ripping open Colt's pants leg, as Colt was trying to get a better position on him. Cutting Colt's leg in the attempt, he revealed Colt's leg discolored and bandaging ripped off, revealing the maggots practically on bone. Rano was shocked to the point of standing up, sliding from Colt. Colt, who was now bleeding, stood stabilizing himself, snorting the dirt from his nose. The shock that covered everyone's face, I couldn't read it. Rano stood staring at it, then back to Colt, just as Colt pulled out his own knife. Spitting to the ground, he was even more determined to show his strength. Rano walked toward the challenge. "So you're not finished, are you?" "Of course not. You never give up willingly. You rather die than loose the herd." Rano gave a glare and smile. "Very well, then." Rano walked closer. To Colt, everyone's breath was held. Rano took his blade, putting it to the ground. "Won't be needing this," he smiled as he grabbed to Colt's wrists. Colt was fighting back and actually gaining ground, groaning through the pain, blood flowing from the wound. Rano finally took Colt's blade hand, putting it behind his neck, putting his forehead to Colt's, pushing hard as he could. Then he let go of Colt's other hand. Colt grabbed for the back of his neck. With the free hand, Rano pulled down on his long tied-up hair. Colt's blade was kept razor-sharp, and with one cut, Rano's hair fell to the dirt. Rano stopped fighting. What was he doing? He backed up, picking up his braid, dusting it off by hitting it to his pants. Then holding it in both his hands, he bowed, holding it up to Colt with his head down. "Forgive me, Stallion," words were being spread, and many of the words were in truth, but seeing the greatness of your wound. I question if I could be standing for moments or riding or taking on a bronco, and the answer I know is no. I could not. Any stallion that can do what you have done, I will follow to whatever kingdom or world he wishes to take me. Says the rest of you. What says the rest of you? But he hadn't looked around to see everyone else in the herd was already on their knee looking to Colt, who had to pass judgment on the bronco who challenged him to give Rano back his hair. He would be driven from the herd, in the herd, if Colt were to keep it. Rano would be his servant till his death, never given freedom. Colt looked to the braid, then with a simple toss he threw it into the fire. What did this mean? This had never been done by any stallion. Colt looked to Rano, then looked to me. "Rano, you said my wife was death. My children death." Rano said nothing as Colt continued. "Perhaps that should be your fate then." Rano looked up in shock, pale as a ghost. "I am sorry, my stallion, I misspoke. I am not your stallion, you made that clear." Colt's leg was shaking, but he walked over to Rano. I will take whatever punishment you wish to put upon me." "Then die, Rano." The crowd was in a gasp, still kneeling as Colt came toward him. "More, kill the half of you that is held prisoner to your roan horse. Come with us to the kingdom, prove yourself loyal, and perhaps a day will come when you have my full trust once more as a man." Rano looked to Colt now, holding out his hand for him to rise by him. Rano didn't want to take it, but Colt's eyes were wild, and finally he gave his hand to Colt, who pulled him up. Then Colt went to herd members, still bowing, helping them to their feet, as the whispered, "My stallion." Many men silently cutting their hair and throwing it into the fire one by one. Firefly spoke to the little deer herd that was left. Many decided to go back home, but a few did decide to stay on. Foam spoke to her people. There was but a handful that spoke to stay. The lions seemed to have no issues. Colt was walking to our tent when Meal and some deer herd women walked up to Colt. "You should let me help you with your leg," Colt said in a deep voice. "You will never touch me." "Meal, get to your tent." He was fuming. Steam was rising from his leather jacket. Firefly was catching up to us, following into our tent looking to the wound. "It's not too bad, the snakebite is healing nicely. It's just the scrape on the side, bleeding." She helped take off his boot, then the other one. Ben walked in with Rano and Timothy. Why were they here? Colt seemed to show the same question. They just stood still and silent as Firefly eyed Ben. "You and your ideas." She hissed in a whisper. "Ideas?" I questioned. "You haven't told them?" Again whispering to Ben in a hiss. "Haven't told me what?" I whispered, Colt's leg shaking as Ben put his hand for me to sit beside Colt. Ben popped a bubble of his pink gum. "Just a bit of theatrics." I looked to Colt, smirking at Ben. "You didn't." I looked to Ben. He pulled the gum into his mouth from the popped bubble. "This is Rano, as you know him, and Timothy, as you know him. You have your stallion eyes, but past stallions usually keep on two hands. Rarely does a stallion know of them, but I don't plan on seeing this idea of yours fade, so I put one of my hand in the stew." Rano bowed slightly to Colt and me. "Forgive me, Colt. My orders come from another's mouth, but I follow your words, just not over his." Timothy patted Rano's shoulder. "As well as I. If you can't accept this, then we will continue to help in ways we can." Colt just smirked, laying back on the bed, his legs still shaking. "It is well enough, I understand, but in truth, I already knew of you both. Your deceptions were strong. But where there's a left eye, there's a right. So I pushed for a reveal. You may stay on in the kingdom, for you all have done me such a great service. I may never give you full trust, but I will always give to you the gratitude you all deserve." As Firefly covered him with a fur, "I don't know if I should say," and she yelled out, "Stupidest boy!" Then she whispered again, touching the top of his head, whispering to his ear, "Or the smartest man I have yet seen." She smiled softly.